And welcome to another episode of the Shoot the Messenger podcast live. It is the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Holy shit, we didn't even do anything for Star Wars.
We didn't.
I'm just now realizing, of course, Peter Mayhew, the guy that played Chewbacca, passed away. So a lot of this is being dedicated, a lot of the day, May the 4th, not this show, being dedicated to him. But if you want to dedicate the show to Chewbacca, big ups. Sure. Why not?
I mean,
why not?
Better?
Who better? Maybe our parents. Bam. There we go. Done. That's who better. Or Jesus. All right. So big show ahead of us today. Thank you for joining us. You can catch us several different places on the podcast before we get it rolling. Kendra, where can they catch us?
You can find us on our website at shootthemessenger.net. iTunes, you can download our podcast there. Also Spotify. Again, it's Shoot the Messenger is what you want to search for. Shoot the Messenger podcast on YouTube is what you can find us. And I think that's it.
Okay. Oh, good. God, I've been fixing with this microphone for a little bit, so we're gonna have a little bit of I don't know. I gotta get a new mic. I think I gotta get a new mic. But let's just get into the damn show. Okay. Let's bring up the board, shall we? Here's the board. Starting off with Weevan. Weeman. Do you remember who Weeman is?
I did not until we started watching this and he started talking about who he was hanging out with.
Yeah. Who did he say he hung out with?
Steve-O.
Johnny Knoxville. Yeah, he was part of that Jackass crew. Thought this was a pretty cool video. Just came out, I think, today. And it's this video series about people that live in vans. And evidently, Weeman, he sold his house in the Hollywood Hills, sold a lot of his possessions, and is now just living in this pretty nice Mercedes van. Great for a little person. Tons of room, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, and like the everything folds down. I mean, it's outfitted with everything that you could need: the kitchen and the bathroom, and
toilet.
like.
I don't know, the modern day home. I mean, you can fit a lot more modern day stuff in a smaller space. Probably just about the same size as some of these Japanese studios that we see going, that are in Tokyo. But yeah, you're mobile. His front porch is the ocean.
It does fit into that theme of the tiny home mentality. There's a lot of tiny homes that you'll see. This one's a little bit more mobile, but you'll see a lot of the
I think the mobile home will
miniature.
always be a novelty. I don't know. I mean, don't you think it's a novelty? It's not like a thing more and more people will do. The motorhome, I guess there is a transient of people that do motorhomes, that camp specifically in campers. They're in motorhomes. They live mobily.
Yeah, but when I say like the tiny home trend, do you know what I'm talking about, like on HGTV?
Yeah, I know what the tiny home trend is, but I'm trying to stick to this topic.
Millennials. Yeah, but this goes into it simply because like millennials are fascinated by this like idea of reduced living, the idea of mobility with your home.
Yeah, for instance, he's talking about a home stereo
I could have
here,
it
right?
in stereo.
Like he just
Connected
uses
to
his
my
phone
Bose
for his home entertainment system. That's reduced living, wouldn't you say?
It is.
Right?
It is certainly.
Steve was he's a little bit ahead of the curve. They say surfers. He obviously surfs. He's down by the water, surfs, skateboards. Say surfers are more environmentally conscious. Do you think it has to do with that?
Well, I think that this is just part of the millennial trend of tiny homes. This goes into
He's a little bit
only
older.
it's a van. Yeah,
He's older than me.
Sure. You're a millennial.
Am I? I would not get. No,
you
I'm
are
not.
a millennial.
I will not.
You're a millennial. But he is a little bit older. But this still was popularized by a group of people, and it's certainly like it's just more popular nowadays. And with rental prices being what they are, mortgages being what they are, a lot of people have also considered this. They think it's a more affordable option. I don't know if I would consider it in the long run.
Well, this is a way to do it right. And if you, I'll leave a link in the description. All the links, everything we talk about in today's show will be in the description. Really good to hear from Weeman. It really sounds like he's living his best life right now. And I hope it's not out of hardship to live mobily. I don't know. I moved back to Michigan to get away from I can see that in California, wanting to live like awesomely, portable. Just keep it cheap. Jesus sold all his possessions. It's kind of like stuff ties you down. He says in this interview, Weeman says with more possessions, you just get more problems. right? More
Yeah.
things to worry about. Simplify your life. And look at him. Cup of coffee, smiling everywhere. But that's just Wee Man in general. I mean, I imagine he'd be happy anywhere he goes.
Probably.
Yeah, right. So take your time, watch the video. I thought it was really, really cool. And I don't know, I like to feel opened up to things like that. You always think White House picket fence, but you know, it's a new age. I mean, technology is available at our fingertips. We have anything at the size of a pen. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but that's not a great option for like a family. You know, he really does have the luxury of freedom in that way that he doesn't
I
have.
think some mobile families might disagree. There's probably an argument to being
There
mobile.
are some families that do the tiny home situation.
Shit, I mean, they would
and
have a
stuff.
strong backbone now, wouldn't they? If they were
It's-
mobile and it was a healthy situation,
Yeah, it's really
it would probably
hard.
be better. I mean, think about it. If you were well off, and it wasn't, money wasn't the super struggle that it was, and you were a mobile family. I mean, but that's living in a haystack. I mean, who's that well off and traveling
Well-
the country and teaching their kids? Some people do that. Some people do
I
that.
would say that there's arguments to be had everywhere in that migrant families, though they may not be well off, certainly teach happiness in their own way, in their own culture, in their own families, and they do have this kind of transient way of living. It's part of their culture.
Yeah.
But that is almost like completely in the spirit of something else than just a transient lifestyle that is well off. I don't think that long term it's a good. It's not an easy option long term for a family. Let's say that much.
It's definitely not. I mean, I wouldn't think it'd be the easiest. I like stocking the fridge. The fridge there is like the size of a box. You can't really stock a fridge there. It's hard to keep things. Got to be on your toes. Who knows? Good retirement plan. And if you're looking for comfort, I did the work for you. This is a really great website, and I really wanted comfortable pants because I've grown in size. I've grown a couple of inches around the waist, and none of my pants fit me. It's okay.
happens.
I'm working out again, but the 10 most comfortable men's dress pants. Some of these pants range from $200 to the cheapest ones are at Old Navy, and that's the ones I flew up with. But you know what? Don't be uncomfortable, because I was very uncomfortable around my waist, and you just get in a bad mood. They're tight. Okay, so I looked up the most comfortable pants. Check this article out. If you're a man, you want some comfortable dress pants. The technology's there. They're making them stretchy now. They're stretchy everywhere. They just feel like a flippin' pair of sweatpants.
Well, and I understand that hit women's fashion before it hit men's.
Oh, sure, yes. You guys have had this technology for years. You've been hoarding it.
We have, and like also let me say, like I cannot imagine what it's like to be a man and have to be confined to pants. All
Oh,
the
shoot.
time.
Yeah, we were going to talk about this. Now, you hate pants.
I hate pants. I think pants are the worst.
Why?
Because they're just so confining. They're not comfortable. I just don't feel like. And in the wintertime, I get to wear lots of layers between my comfortable tights, which have lots of movement and no restriction. It's tights. It's not pants. So I get my tights, and then I have like multiple layers of skirts, and I'm nice and cozy because I have all these layers.
And you're comfy.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I think that is probably more comfortable. I'm not a big fan of wearing tights, though.
Got lots of movement range. I'm not.
All right,
strained.
good. So womanhood. I mean, you guys have been keeping that secret for years. What do you think it is?
Well-
Women. That's one for the women.
That's why I am not mad at skirts.
All right, we got to move on. All right, so I love Meryl. Something about men singing together is really great when they're all really good. And the Dukes Men of Yale and now the Yale Spizzlewinks, I think they're called. Pretty good. Everybody loves a good deep voice, man.
Fighting and trouble been my middle name.
And this guy's great. So we're gonna leave him going.
If you see me coming, you better step aside. Well, a lot of men didn't, and a lot of men died.
Good.
Some people say a man is made out of
Right,
mud.
I don't get
A poor
copyright.
man
and
made out of
his
muscle and
eyebrows.
blood. A muscle and blood.
What? His eyebrows? What?
Skin and
His eyebrows.
Fascinating to watch.
and a back that's strong.
I thought you had more comments about.
What do you
Yeah,
get?
let's get back to horse.
Now the day older and you're deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the
See, this guy runs it.
company store.
This guy's directing. Right there on the side. Anyway, we'll keep them going. We're singing a lot now. Chorus. We're doing the Black and White Gala in June. $150 a ticket. Sold out. And they're going to add a second night. But we've been singing a lot more with a group of people. What do you think about that?
I mean, I love singing with people. I feel like it's been so long, and it's an activity that when you don't do it or you've never done it, and then you do come back to it, it feels very spiritual. Singing does.
What is it about that? Is it the vibrations of the voice, or what is it about the human soul that wakes up for singing? I don't know.
Power of a group, man.
Especially when they're that good. These guys are really good, and I think if the video plays through, there's another one that's really great that they do some Smash Mouth or All Star. Who's that? Fastball.
Accidentally
Some fastball. Yeah. Isn't that the name of it? Hey, now. You're an all-star? Who sings all-star?
All-star? Smash Mouth?
Smash Mouth. That's right. Yeah.
I can't go.
Okay.
I owe my soul to the company.
It's a good way. It's a good one to start. You get a cup of coffee, Here, cheers. I know you want to talk about it together.
I owe my soul to the company store.
It's a classic, man. You can't go wrong with the classics. And what were you saying?
Now, do you think that they told the boys that they were going to be recorded today?
Oh shit, they're always recorded. They're at Yale. I mean,
well, do you think that
probably
the bright red Adidas shirt could have been a different choice? Maybe
it does look like an important function. Yes. Okay. Yes, I did forget. Kendra hates his shirt. All she did was comment on this dude's shirt.
It's really hard to listen to him over the loudness.
He's got a red SHU crew shirt on. That's got to be
I hope he came directly from practice.
Is that pro soccer? So if you go to the next song,
and then he's got this tie that's clipped up. At first, my criticism was everybody's wearing a tie and he's not, and then I realized he is, which is even worse.
Yeah, he's wearing a tie. Where is he? Let's see. This is that Smash Mouth.
So she said, "What's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Well, baby,
See, now I'm just playing all the songs. But where is he?
He's to the right.
Okay, there he is.
There he is. Look at that tie. Why would you do that to us? You sound beautiful, but sir,
he's got to stick out. He's the zany one. You got to stick out, and he loves soccer.
He's red. He's got red hair. He already sticks out. He doesn't need to be more zany.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Out this weekend. Okay, so this is the internet blew up over the weekend, and the internet took action. This released. It's got Jim Carrey. It's got your favorite blue-haired childhood icon, Sonic the Hedgehog. And the problem is that
Sonic looks like.
Well, shit, Kendra. You're right. He looks like shit. So there he is. Like that's what they're giving us, and these are kind of some of the stills. Little Gangsta's Paradise, get you pumped up. He's wearing like Nikes. You don't really see him to the end again. Yeah, and he looks a little human-esque. So people are really having problems with the way this Sonic looks. What do you think?
He looks kind of like a preteen, little bit, like awkwardly shaped preteen face.
Here's some of the shots that they took. I'll try to full screen this here for you guys. Right, you can see some of that. You like his long legs, and that's really not what the traditional Sonic is. You can see people, Jim Carrey are good, but these teeth are human from Sonic. It's weird. He's supposed to have, they put the teeth on Winnie the Pooh. The internet was backlashing. His legs are messed up. There's all kinds of stuff. And you know what? The internet actually fixes some of this stuff. So you can see right here, his legs are more straight. He's actually got gloves on. It's a little bit bigger. His eyes are a little bit way bigger.
The eyes and the eyebrows really are what makes the most difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at those comparisons side by side with the eyes, it really.
This guy has if you like Disgust, all these are in the links. But if you like Disgust videos where people just go off on something, this guy's great. He's just
So this is really dope right here. This is perfect. This is 10 out of 10.
yeah. So he likes these. He's going through them, but he's just ripping on this actually.
Use doctrine, which says that as long as you're adding something new to it, as long as you're not copying and pasting,
He's talking about fair use.
but it just didn't have the same effect. It ruined the video. The first upload was
He's disgusted.
so. This is what we have now, right? That face right there,
Yeah.
the one that I use for my thumbnail, that's the face of evil. That's what Satan looks like. Okay, this was made in Satan's own image.
So yeah, so a lot of internet backlash. People made videos. There was a outpouring. I'll leave a couple more in the description below. But now,
holy
it
shit.
turns out, and here's the same guy because I had to grab him because he was so like against it and fighting. His name is Young Ye. And now they're changing it. They're actually going to go back and do changes to the movie, which is a good thing. What do you think about that? Production studios taking notes from the fans and going back and saying they're going to make changes, making posts that they're going to make changes.
I love the idea. Like, I love the idea of hearing feedback and then going, all right, I hear you, I see you, and then making changes. The problem really comes from what are those changes really going to look like in the long term? Is it going to be like no different than this, but they're going to go back and be like, well, we did this, and then they're going to like circle the detail that they changed? Or is it going to be
we'll
something
see.
where like they completely revamp and have to spend a lot of money to get it where they want it to be?
Look, you're fully committed. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best it can be. So hopefully they rectify the situation. And if they do rectify the situation, even though the Sonic movie, it does have Jim Carrey, might not be that great, I think it's a good reason to support the movie anyway and maybe go out and see it just because of the principle, because of the fact that people are taking into considerations and actually making changes to make it right. So many times, especially with video game movies and, Mario movie, Street Fighter movie, they're made, pretty terribly. So I don't know. I'm not really that big into Sonic, but I think it's a really cool debate. The articles are there down below. Any last words on that? He, changed from the Nikes to the regular Sonic shoes. Yeah.
I hope the fans get the movie that they want. I would not hold your breath, guys.
Oh wait, that's my outline for the show right there, everybody. You can just get a peek at that because that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry about that. There I am, and there we are back again. So up next, if you've read the notes, you should know. What is it, Kendra? Do you know?
The Game of Thrones kids.
Yeah. What are
They're
they doing?
toking it up.
They're smoking pot. The Game of Thrones kids are smoking pot. That's right. Sophie Turner and Maisie Williams. Not just, in between sets. Just after the show, they hang out. Game of Thrones is pretty big right now. We just had the third episode, which everybody ripped into. We're not going to rip into it because, hey, whatever.
No spoilers.
Hey, you watch it for yourself. If you like it, you like it. But they're best friends, and they publicly state that they're hanging out, smoking weed together. And we just sit there, eat, watch stupid videos, and smoke weed. So they hang out a lot in between sets. They actually wore cannabis patches.
Apparently
Weed
they have
patches.
They have matching tattoos too.
Of weed?
No, not.
Oh,
of
they're just
weed.
best friends?
Yeah, they're just best friends. They just have matching tattoos.
Yeah, they look so different in age, but they're relatively the same age, only a year or so apart. So there you go, they're friends. I just thought that was interesting that they're smoking the weed. They're open about it. It's a new day and age, Even though it's legal in our state, I don't think it's something that is readily accepted, right?
No, and I'm not even sure where these girls live full time, right? Because it was being filmed in Belfast, Ireland, and I don't know if pot is legal in Ireland.
It's going to be legal in all of the European countries soon. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time for the United States. It's a matter of time for them. We've already seen the swing happen here in Michigan, personally.
Well, and there is one major factor that I have a problem with the girls being so open about this is there's little information about the damage that marijuana does to brain development before the ages of 25. And these girls are readily admitting that they're doing it, and the oldest one is 23, 24.
Yeah,
so it's
I'm
really
not gonna.
young.
Yeah, well, I don't harp on people for drinking booze, so I'm not gonna harp on them. Definitely not gonna harp on them for doing something, an alternative that is arguably less harmful to the human body. So I mean, yeah,
It's not
I don't want to be a
It's
hypocrite.
not about what they're doing; it's about their age.
Okay, well,
So
they're
I'm not being
21.
it's because they're smoking
What?
pot.
Youngest one's 22 now.
Yeah.
22. So
It's
you're
just-
concerned about a 22-year-old?
Yeah, because your brain doesn't stop development until 25.
Well, there you go. So you think legalization should happen at 25 now? You can die for your
I
country,
think
but you
that
can't have a
there is
joint.
An actual argument to be had. I don't know what the answer is.
Well, that's yes. None of us do, but the Florida man has all the answers, and there's always an answer
good.
coming from the Florida man. This week's Florida man arrested after attempting to pay with weed. Okay, so here's the problem with this story: paying with weed. They say no. He takes off. They call the cops. He comes back to the drive-through again to try to pay regularly, and like, oh, that's the guy, and then he gets arrested. That's how he got caught.
Oh,
you think a
buddy.
drive-through, like cops really aren't going to care. But this is in Port St. Lucie, and I get it. If you have some pot, you feel like it's valuable. You know, like it's expensive, and you can do some bartering business like the old days. But old MacDonald had a farm, and he was not growing weed.
Well, it's not legal in Florida. It's not even, I mean, it's barely legally legal. There we go. In Florida. And so, dude, this is worth nothing there. This is worth what you get for having this is jail time. That's what you get in exchange for that.
Yep, all other weird stories. The McDonald's employee that was handing out mixtapes in the Happy Meal.
Beautiful.
That's a hustle, man. That's a hustle.
Gotta make it.
You gotta make it. So that's the Florida man. We'll leave that in the description below. You can check that out. And now it's time for This Week in Reddit. Fitting. It's fitting music because this week we're doing shitty car mods. Shitty car mods. That's right. For $500, they modded this out. Not too bad. What do you think about this first one, Kendra? On top.
Boxy, right?
We're gonna get going. You'll get warmed up to the shitty car mods, people. Okay, Lamborghini. That's kind of gross, right? It's green. It's got that dip on it. That plasti dip that they do. Do you know what I'm talking about? What is that? Like a
plasti
Honda
dip?
Civic? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Plasti dip. They usually do it to like trucks and stuff. This in Miami. Okay, so this stuff down here, this black, is like the plasti dip. It looks like they just kind of dip everything. And it's kind of like that plastic they can take off. Yeah, I think that is plasti dip for sure. The comments are even better. But I suggest if you have some free time, you want to waste it, you want to check out Shitty Car Mods. This 97 Benz does not have a transmission. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Check out Shitty Car Mods. We'll do it. This is the DeLorean, a do-it-yourself DeLorean. So crappy. Sometimes I think you have a car, you want to spruce it up a little bit, and you just got to avoid some of these AutoZone parts. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
See, and I wonder how street legal some of these things even are. I know that there's a star, Justin Bieber, that has like a chrome vehicle that he isn't allowed to drive around sometimes
What
because
are you
it's too
talking
bright.
about?
Somebody has a chrome vehicle.
A chrome vehicle?
Yeah, and there is one car that's gold. It's all gold.
Is it in there? Oh, okay. Let me check that out. The all gold vehicle. There it is. I love gold. Wow, that's pretty shitty. And I'm just kind of staring at Shitty Car Mods right now, but I thought it was good, right? Louder than your girlfriend last night. Yamaha.
Oh, classy.
Don't you think some of these are just classy though?
I mean,
Some of the stickers on the back. In high school, you kind of have ideas for cars, right? You kind of have, the Fast and Furious thing came through, but I think that is shit.
what was your high school dream vehicle?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
always
remember.
One time, I will tell you this. This week in Reddit, that is, I will tell you. No, I'll tell you that, like, when I was in my younger year and I first went out to California and the first time down to Huntington Beach, a nice Cadillac convertible parked in front of me. And it's the cutoff is and the seats come right below that cutoff, so, like, smooth. And they dip down. The back seats look cool. And a couple of dudes got out of there. They looked like the coolest ever. And it was that low cut, like, 1970s, 80s Cadillac that I was like, oh, it's a big ass car, but it looks sweet. It was all polished up. It was like black with like red or cream interior. It's perfect. Perfect. Can't actually remember what it was, but that's I'm not a huge car guy, but I like the shitty car mods. And now to rewind the tape, if you're with us from week to week, you'll understand that we post our topics here, right? They're all posted on the left. Sometimes we miss them. And I say we because Kendra's supposed to check me on that shit, and she doesn't.
Hey, sometimes you're moving so fast, sometimes I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is he choosing to not include this?
Okay, so we have some good ones. Here is now the section of things we have missed in the past, all right? Things we were supposed to talk about and we never did. This one from Ask Reddit. What are you surprised about something that... I fucked it up. What's something that you're surprised how cheap it is? Something that you're surprised how cheap it is. Okay? Okay? Do you want to start this?
I will.
I feel like I need you to read a little bit.
Okay, ridiculously long Ethernet cables.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 100-foot cable,
Wait,
$10.
100-foot cable is $10?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethernet is pretty cheap. What is inside Ethernet? Glass? I don't know. Okay.
Oh no! Well, I don't know.
What?
It allows internet.
Okay. This guy grew up in California. He says lemons are cheap. Lemon trees, orange trees are everywhere. It used to be all orange groves, and then they turned it into Orange County. Anything else, Kendra? Things that are cheap that should not be fucking cheap. Can't you believe how cheap they are?
Now that they mention it, plastic and silicone goods.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is it that we can get a spatula for 90 cents?
No,
like
it's true. I do. This guy says produce. I find that produce is really, really. It's like the cheapest you can buy out of anything in the grocery store. The less they prepare it for you, the cheaper it is. And it's really they grab it from the ground, they wash it, and they throw it to you. So, produce is like cheap. But you know, think about it. You live like a king. Like you think about old ass England in the 1600s. They couldn't get watermelons and bananas and grapes and
or
cherries.
like this
and
person says
avocado
pineapples
at the same time. Why are pineapples so? But I get
they
it.
take 2 years to grow.
2 years.
2 years.
There should be
two
no way.
full years.
Same with like agave. It takes a long time. New cars at the dealership, used ones with about 10,000 miles. Yeah, used ones are cheap. 10,000 mile vehicles, considering the price, dramatically knock it off. I didn't know that though. I didn't know it was at $10,000. I heard $70,000 or 70,000 miles. The value of your car goes down. So like trade it in before then if you can. But I didn't know that. Anything else before we part our ways and get more things that we missed?
Alcohol anywhere in the world except Finland, Norway, Sweden, Australia, Iceland, Singapore, UAE, Canada, New Zealand, Singapore, the Gulf states, and so on.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my God, give us a why. Read the article if you have time. And Kendra's been waking up at a new time, which is great. I'm going to be waking up early too because we both got just different job ordinances that we have to do.
Ordinances.
Yeah, whatever. This is how they wake up in Canada. Watch this guy jump. Here we go. Boom! We had that ready for you at another show, but we thought we'd share that with you now. Giant artillery fire. Ooh, that's just one that you gotta love, right? It's harmless, kind of.
That would hurt your ears. Like, that would be like ringing.
Yeah, he likes it. He likes
all right.
it. And the first car, we wanted to show this one to you so bad, the Cugnaut. And this is actually, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. This is actually a different view than we had. This is the first ever car from 1769, the steam-powered Cugnaut.
Self-propelled, so this was steam-powered, and it was something that he would have to like jump off the vehicle and like restoke the fire every 15 minutes to make sure that it kept moving.
It's kind of giant. It runs on bourbon. Oh, he's delivering bourbon.
No wood. He's got wood. He uses a wood.
So this would move artillery, things like that. But look at this Cugnaut, nice and slow. It takes slow turns too.
And as I was watching this, I was just looking at the tire and how different that tire right there looks compared to a tire on my vehicle today.
Right.
And just the way that it's gripping the road.
You can see the little notches. Like we put notches sporadically throughout, and then there's part with no notches, part with notches, part with no notches.
Yeah, exactly. So, engineering, it's so interesting to see
One
how
wheel in
things
front.
have moved.
Look at his steering wheel. He's giant cranking. They didn't figure. There's a lot of shit. This is one of those things. If you went back in time and you met the guy, you could help him out with the Cugnaut. You'd be like, whoa. What you need to do is add another gear, make that wheel a little smaller. You can just turn that bitch. You can palm it. And I don't know. Like you always think back in time. If you went back in time, could you actually help society with what you know instantly right now?
Witch burner.
Yeah. That's probably what would happen to either of us. All right, well, we're done. That's great,
folks.
Thank you for joining us. Make sure you, give us a like or just follow us is fine. If
Yeah,
you don't
you
want to
can
put yourself out
subscribe.
there, I understand you don't want to put yourself out there, but just give us a follow. You can subscribe.
Yes, you can subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. You can go ahead and leave us a comment, a review. Any kind of interaction with us actually helps the internet know that you care about
So
us.
don't be a bitch.
Let the internet know that
And
you
let
care about
them
us.
know. We just appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this show. We're going to keep it pushing, and we're going to keep trying different things. We hope you like the pace. It's a shortened episode, but you know what? We'll have some guests soon. We got some new things on the Stirring Pot. I'm working on some topics, and there's a lot of exciting things coming on the show. So thank you for joining us on the Shoot the Messenger podcast. As for me, AJ Girton, I'm saying goodbye. Kendra, do you want to say goodbye?
I want to say goodbye.
Say goodbye to the friends, and we'll see you next time on Shoot the Messenger podcast.